Go change the subject, please, because...
Well, I thought we were going to tell Alice and Sophia the awesome joke that you've probably already forgotten.
Where does Batman get his Kung Pao chicken from?
He's so proud of himself for remembering. Look
No,
at his face.
he did not remember correctly. He got some of the words.
But he thought that he got it, and he was happy. What was it?
7 out of 10.
No way, it's like a 3 out of 10. It was horrendous.
What was the joke?
What is Batman's favourite incarnation of Doctor Who?
That's not even nearly the same.
Peter Capaldi.
Yes!
Wow.
I was. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 7 of Splitting Pixels. We are a little bit light on game chat this week in that we haven't really been playing very much.
I'm light on everything, chat.
But come on, stay positive.
Sorry, it's just like, I don't know. One of those days.
So, one thing that has happened since we last recorded was Star Wars Celebration. And I don't know if everyone has seen the Battlefront trailer. I know, Sophia, you're not a massive Star Wars fan.
Why do you always say this?
Well,
because you're the weirdo.
Because I remember you've deferred to Alice on Star Wars a few times.
Well, it's because Alice knows more than me, but I wouldn't say that I'm not a fan.
Okay, cool. Have you seen the Battlefront trailer? Has anyone seen the Battlefront
To be
trailer?
honest, I'm not one for watching trailers in general. Because if there's something that I'm excited about, I'm going to watch or play it anyway, and I don't want to watch the trailer because there's so often spoilers. So unless it's like a really cool trailer, then I won't bother.
Well, for the unaware, Battlefront is it's a multiplayer game set in the Star Wars universe. Basically, if you've ever watched a Star Wars film and been like, "Oh, it would be so cool if I could," Battlefront is really good at taking that and making it real.
I've heard some disappointing things about it though.
Yeah,
There's
have
not
as well.
that much to it.
There's already been comparisons to like what the other Battlefront games were, and this one seems to have a lot less. But if you look at it as more of a reboot than a sequel, then you know.
Well, I think it's because it's in the hands of Electronic Arts, so they have a habit of they'll release the base game, and then you pay for everything on top of that. But
it's like Ryanair.
Yeah, a little bit.
I only just made that connection.
So, is it... I was expecting just like a Battlefield, but Star Wars themed.
Kinda.
So where am I...
It's
am I
both
correct?
first person and third person. It's a little bit like, well, you haven't played Skyrim, but you essentially click a button and you can go from first person to third person.
Like in
GTA 5.
Minecraft.
Yeah, or like the new GTA 5.
Minecraft.
Yeah. So, the first two Battlefronts were third person, but they allowed you to do things that, like ride a speeder bike, or the second one allowed you to have a space battle as well, and you could fly like into the opponent's capital ships and like sabotage it and stuff. It was really cool.
I played the second one on PS2, I think.
Yes, it would have been PS2 and an original Xbox
I just
era.
remember playing it like local co-op split screen, but I don't remember a whole lot of what was going on.
It was really good fun. The first one had like you can either be Empire or Rebels, and then you had pretty much like a class system. So there was like just the Stormtroopers, but they had a really good blaster, but they didn't really have anything specialised. And then you had like the Rocket Troopers, who had really heavy weapons but not much ammo, and just the kind of general stuff that you would expect in any multiplayer game.
And did it follow the story of any movies, or was it like concurrent to the movies, but separate?
Well,
what was
you had this thing called Galactic Conquest, where you kind of went through a story of sorts, but it was mostly just a kind of contrived way of getting you to play through all the different maps that they had. So like you'd start with Naboo and things like that, and then every game in Star Wars has a Hoth level, but I'm fine with that because I love AT-ATs and stuff. So,
but in this one, there's no Galactic Conquest. There's like 4 maps. So obviously
Well,
they're
no. There's 4 planets,
4 planets,
but they're going to have multiple maps. One of the lead developers had to be really clear and say, we're not just going to launch with 4 maps, guys. So I don't know. Like the planets that they have revealed. So there's Hoth, and then there is Sullust. Sullust, which is it's a bit like Hoth but with massive lava fields. So that could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Tatooine and Endor, the forest moon of Endor, because the big chunk of the trailer that was apparently in gameplay engine looked way too good. It looked gorgeous actually, but the ability to ride a speeder bike in the Battlefront games has always been really cool. You just have to be careful not to plough into a tree.
That's the same with every game that involves a bike.
I suppose, yeah.
It does seem virtually impossible though. Speeder bikes, come on guys. If you're in the desert, that's cool. But I would not want to be, right, your position, forest moon. Oh crap. I love going fast and there's lots of trees.
Now I'm just thinking of like the new Legend of Zelda game, how they said like, well, real horses don't run into trees that often.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Yeah.
I'm excited about having a new Battlefront, but yeah, I am kind of nervous about how they're going to chop it up and sell it back to us. And there's not a single player really.
Yeah, there's no single player campaign.
Oh, I don't like it when games do that.
That's
don't
not
make
cool.
me play with
It better
other
be
people.
cheaper if that's the case.
It
Then.
will not be.
No.
It's going to be like Battlefield. Like Battlefield always launches, and people have a campaign.
I like the campaign.
Well, the campaign for Battlefield hasn't been good since Bad Company 2.
Okay, not the full thing, but at least the single player versions of these games gives you little parts where you're the gunner in a plane really high up, and you've got to use the satellite imaging to just gun down all the guys chasing your man. Stuff
That
like
was
cool.
That's Call of Duty, I think.
Oh crap!
But well, no, people. It's I don't know. I maintain that the Call of Duty campaign is as good as the multiplayer, whereas Battlefield's single player campaign has always essentially been a tutorial to kind of get to
It's the
win
same
the
with
weapons.
Titanfall. Like the single player stuff was just like teaching you how to use it, which
Yeah.
isn't like. A lot of the time with shooters, I will use the campaign to kind of get used to it before I go on to multiplayer, but I still want some sort of story.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't just want like an AI going, oh, now you should run over this gap, because that's boring.
Titanfall had that weird thing, didn't it, where it was the single player was the multiplayer?
Like
you
it
do
just kind of
progress
threw you
through a
into it.
story, but it incorporates which is a cool idea, but apparently it wasn't implemented particularly well.
And also with games that just have multiplayer, it's like unless you bought it on launch and been playing it constantly, you can't get that game after it's been out for a little while because everyone already knows everything about it. And you just can't jump into it.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with multiplayer games, and not having the kind of time I used to to play multiplayer games and really master them. The new Rainbow Six Siege is apparently suffering from the same issue.
Is that out?
No.
Oh.
I think they said fall release, so it's in time for Christmas probably. But it doesn't have a single player story
and
either.
That's the one that's kind of like you're planning to take over, like almost like a heist type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, the one that they've shown a lot of footage of is the house.
Yeah.
With the hostage. That obviously the cops have to save and the crims have to escape with.
It is interesting, but again, like that kind of multiplayer, you need to be like really working as a team. You can't just jump in and out of it like you could with any other like shooter.
That's why I love Rainbow Six.
Yeah, it's a great game, but it's difficult.
Yeah, I remember I've gone through periods on the last generation. On the 360, I had distinct periods for playing multiplayer, and I remember I got really into Gears of War, which is apparently up for a remake in the near future.
But that's got local multiplayer, which is the best.
Yeah, the co-op for that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Modern Warfare 1 and 2 were incredible. I remember playing a lot of them. But then Rainbow Six, I think it's who you play with.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, if you don't have a good team around you, you're not going to enjoy Rainbow Six because you're just going to be like, oh, God damn it.
And you need quite a lot of time as well. Like things like COD or Halo, you could spare 10 minutes to just jump in and play, but you need significantly more for Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I think it's because you need to be focused.
Yeah.
You need to know what you're doing, and it's tricky to do if the game's been out for 6 months and you are at an immediate disadvantage. But so I'm excited to see what Battlefront could be. It certainly looks good. It looks incredible.
It looks stunning.
But have you heard about the AT-ATs?
What, that you can't control them?
They're just like on a predetermined course. They're not even AI.
I think it's
the map.
The way I heard about it was that they are essentially it's like Team Fortress when they're pushing the bomb on the rail cart. It's basically
that's cool.
So one team, the Imperials, will be pushing towards the rebel base, which is at the end of the track, if you like, and the rebels want to slow the AT-AT down as much as possible and maybe destroy it if they can. So the AT-AT follows its set path, and then once it gets to the end, it'll blow up the rebel base or whatever. That's how I've heard it described as a game mode.
So you've got to slow their advance, basically.
Yeah.
It's a marker of how close they are, or how close you are to the end of the game.
Because if you think about it, there's nothing on the scale of an AT-AT on the rebel side.
No.
In the trailer, you see them calling like the Y-wings for a bombing run. That was really cool. But
so is it like a MOBA?
I suppose I don't really know enough about MOBAs to say with.
Well, like Team Fortress 2 is kind of a MOBA.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, multiplayer online battle arena.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
right. I hadn't idea.
often like it's points to defend and things.
I suppose. I always thought of MOBAs as specifically things like League of Legends.
Yeah,
or
well
Dota.
they are, but like Team Fortress, I guess you could count as like a shooter MOBA.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. That never occurred to me.
Didn't they also say that there's not going to be any space battles?
Yeah, they did. But to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the space battles in 2. I don't get me wrong. If they were bringing out,
I think Matt's going to hurt you.
if they were bringing out a new version of X-Wing or TIE Fighter, I'd be all for that because they'd actually refine the mechanics for it. But I think it felt a bit clunky and not particularly fun to play the space combat element.
It's funny you bring up TIE Fighter and X-Wing. I nearly bought TIE Fighter the other night, and then I realised I'm playing Elite Dangerous. I don't need... How many years
Yeah,
ago?
but think of the TIE Fighter story was
It's phenomenal,
amazing.
yeah, and I never finished it, so that's the only thing that's bringing me back to it, but then I
just
realised
bought the pack for Keith because it was his birthday.
But yeah, Good Old Games have just brought out like the deluxe editions, I think,
Well,
as well.
Steam has the whole Star Wars collection, which is like 15 games for like £10.
Yeah,
Really?
it's not much at all.
That's really good.
Oh yeah, okay, that's
And then the TIE Fighter games as well as a separate bundle for like £20.
I think I saw that on GOG. It must be a similar thing that they're doing with the franchise, just to kind of revitalise it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no space battles, but that's never why I played Battlefront. Even though it was kind of cool, you know, if they brought out a new Rogue Squadron or something like that.
I loved Rogue Squadron on the 64. That
Yeah.
was loads of fun.
I think it was the GameCube when I really got into Rogue Squadron, but they're really, really good fun games. But I'm sure you'll get to fly things like snow speeders and if they have Y-wings in the trailer, there is the possibility that you'll maybe get to fly them within the planet, within the map.
That would be nice.
Cool. So talking about games that are so nearly out, The Witcher 3 went gold last week. So
What, just from pre-orders?
no, gold. It
Whenever
went.
they burn it to the disc.
Yeah, like they've made their master disc.
Oh, right, so not as in like they've sold so many copies or whatever.
No.
Yeah,
They probably have.
Well,
To be honest, yeah, they probably have sold a lot of pre-orders.
well, because gold in music terms is what, 500,000 copies, something like that. So
I have no idea.
yeah, but yeah, that's what I thought you meant.
All right. Well, they have made their master copy.
Okay.
So The Witcher 3 is it's out in less.
Alice is bouncing.
In fact,
excited.
it's 3 weeks today, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm split on it because I have a lot of work to do in like personal projects, but having seen the trailer for The Witcher 3, I'm not going to want anything spoiled about this game. I'm going to want to play it as soon as possible.
By the time this podcast is out, which I think will probably be out,
More than likely, yeah.
it's a bit weird to think about.
But yeah, I'm super excited. Alice seems more excited than anyone. I'm guessing that's because you do plan on taking the time to get it day one.
Well, someone's already bought it for me on Steam.
Oh, that's right. That was
Like
ages ago,
last
wasn't it?
year for my birthday, someone got it, and I was like, this isn't out for like
Was
a
that
year.
before it got delayed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's going to end up being my GTA 5.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here you go for your birthday. Fucking 2 years later, I can finally play my birthday present.
Yeah.
Everything I hear about it, I just get more excited for it.
Like, there doesn't seem like reviews obviously haven't really started coming in yet for it. It's all been, like we've played the first 6 hours and we're blown away, that kind of stuff. I just can't imagine CD Projekt Red dropping the ball on this one.
No.
The first 2 are kind of hard to get into. I haven't actually played the first one because it required a PC that was capable of running video games.
The first one's really difficult.
Yeah.
But it's a little overcomplicated, and they kind of toned that down a bit for the second one. It's definitely playable.
I mean, it seems like when I was describing it to Matt, actually, Matt watched the trailer yesterday.
Yes.
The gameplay trailer. And I described it as being closer to Game of Thrones than Lord of the Rings. You know, it's dark. It's a fantasy setting. It's definitely more fantastical.
The language shocked me the most.
Yeah.
On the trailer, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this is an adult game.
Yeah.
And I think we spoke about it in like the first podcast about how it's got 16 hours of mocap sex
Yes,
scenes.
Yeah.
I was reminded of this and I
Yeah.
didn't realise that was the game because I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know anything about Witcher. But it looks stunning and I want to wander around the world and hunt monsters.
Yeah.
I saw the.
I guess that is the general premise.
Yeah,
though.
you're a monster hunter.
Yeah.
And you get
And
to
sometimes the monsters aren't strictly speaking monsters.
Yeah.
it's
they're just-
open world. There'll
Yeah,
be a storyline
pretty
to
much.
follow.
It's-
go hunting.
It's 12 times the size of Skyrim,
Wow.
which is ridiculous.
That is crazy. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's one large central island, which I'm guessing is probably where you'll start, and then there's kind of like a ring of islands around it.
That's so intimidating though. Like sometimes
Yeah.
when a game is too big, I'm like, I can't dedicate my life to this and I have to just step away from it because I can't.
That's exactly why I'm going to have to wait.
Yeah.
Think how big Minecraft maps could be.
Yeah. Have you seen the guy who was walking to the far lands? Like he was walking
Oh,
on
yeah.
foot to the point
Yeah.
where the map generation broke. And I'll have to send it to you. But like
You know
in
about the Farlands, right?
No.
it's like I don't know if it's in
Is it the edge of
current,
the world?
Basically, I don't think it's in current builds of Minecraft.
I think to get it in the current one, you have to really like fuck it over.
Yeah.
But in the like original first couple of builds, you would get so far before there was just nothing or like bits of
it
broken.
would just be like really
land.
like contorted landscapes and everything
Yeah.
just looked really broken.
It would just get weirder and weirder and weirder, and then eventually you'd just be left
It
with
couldn't
a
cope.
void
Yeah.
in front of you.
And,
And
could
he
you
was-
keep walking, or was it just you? Were
I think it was just the
invisible
void.
wall?
Yeah.
And I think
You
the guy who
could
was
die.
doing it was raising money for charity, and he just kind of uploaded a video of him just like chatting and walking, and I think it was for charity.
Yeah.
He raised some
Because
money.
it took a very long
It's
time.
so long. I can't. Yeah, I'll have to send you the link and I'll put it in the blog and stuff. But yeah, Minecraft
It's the kind of
get
thing that
huge.
Did he
starts
just
out-
like elastic band his controller to kind of go for, or like rest something on his keyboard?
Well, he would just make videos out of it, like just
Yeah.
sit and chat and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
the sort of thing that someone discovers and then everyone thinks that it's just like an urban legend. But
Yeah.
it's actually just...
He
yeah.
must have walked like millions of Minecraft miles or something. It was a massive undertaking.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this was like before horses were in as well.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking like more than 24 hours?
Yeah, it went on
Right.
for years.
All
He
right.
was recording these for years. Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, Minecraft intermission over. Sorry. Back to Witcher.
Yeah.
I even like that, and I'm sorry. I think I'll probably play Witcher before Skyrim.
Before I do. Oh, right.
Before Skyrim, because it looks cool and
It's going to have, I can tell you already, it's going to have a better story than Skyrim.
And
Yeah.
but you're demanding on PC though, so check that you can
Yeah.
run it because it's.
That's always been
Massive
our
PC
thing.
will definitely run it.
Okay,
It's,
if you're
it's
sure.
super
So
sexy.
defensive.
If you're sure.
It's super sexy.
Well, like people are saying that this is a very demanding
Yeah.
game, so just like
Yeah.
check.
Witcher 2 was the same, and Witcher 1 was the same as well at the time.
It would just be nice to keep up with a modern game. Well, saying that actually, Project Cars comes out next month. Also.
Oh my god.
But that's at least a game that you can dip in and out of.
Yeah, but can I?
Well, can you, I suppose, maybe not. Because you'll be like, oh, a Formula 1, oh, an E-type car, or, you know, a race.
Well, no, you've got to do the career. You've got to start in karts and then build your way up. The girls just looked at each other. What?
That's discussed, I hope, yes.
oh, racing's bad,
What?
but slaying innocent monsters is good.
Oh, they're not
I'm
innocent.
taking all of this from me and Alice just looking at each other.
Well, what's the issue?
And anyway, you need to play Witcher 3 anyway. Because
Well, I know. I want
female,
to
female
play.
character,
I
female
want to play.
playable character.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I'll play Witcher 2 first, I think, because I think I have it.
It is an undertaking as well. I
It's
think
not
it was.
that bad.
It was at Games with. Was it at Games with Gold or
Yeah.
was it in a sale?
No, it's Games with Gold. I think
Yeah.
that's why I have it.
I've played maybe the first 10 to 15 hours of it.
It's only like 30-hour game.
Yeah, I enjoyed
I
it,
think.
but it is tough in bits. But it's definitely worth it because the story is really good and the settings are really fun.
I've just heard such horrible things about it, though. Like, not as in like it's bad, but Alice just tells me some of the things that you have to do in that game. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh god, it sounds really traumatic.
It's like Game of Thrones in a lot of ways.
I can't even remember.
I don't know.
You blocked them out, they're that bad.
So yeah, that's one that I'm really looking forward to. The last bit on the game front, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up to date with it, but Konami have just gone
Oh,
right off the
God.
deep end.
I'm so sad.
I don't know anything about this. What?
So Konami were working. Did you ever play the PT demo?
I know now what you're talking about, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I did play it and it's phenomenal and I'm really sad.
So yeah, Konami released a demo for the new Silent Hills. They
Well,
did
it was like a teaser. It
yeah,
wasn't really a demo.
playable teaser. That's what PT was short for.
Yeah.
And it featured, it was designed by Hideo Kojima from Metal Gear, and written. It was going to be written at least by Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
They both had put their name on it, and at the very end of the trailer, it's revealed that Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead
Yeah.
is your protagonist.
I just laugh whenever I think of that bit. To go off topic a little bit, because I remember I was trying to explain to someone about it and I accidentally said Harold Ramis instead of Norman Reedus.
That would be
Oh.
incredible.
He is a ghost now, I
Who's
suppose.
Oh.
Norman Reedus.
He's in The
Darryl.
Walking Dead.
Who's Darryl?
Darryl.
Darryl. Who's Darryl?
Oh,
The one with the
okay.
crossbow.
Oh yeah, the one that everybody finds hunky and cool.
Well,
Really?
he's I don't know about hunky.
I mean, no, of course not. What are you talking about? No.
Everyone loves him because he's like he was an asshole and now he's a cool
Is he not the
guy.
brother of the guy that? Oh no, I can't see because
That's like season 3, I think. You can probably get.
season 1. The brother of the guy that gets his.
Well, yeah, that's
that gets Luke Skywalker.
yeah. Who's played by Michael Rooker, as well, like a really good kind of horror actor. But yeah, so it turns out that Konami has decided to pull the game completely,
Yeah.
And PT.
so
yeah, they've
PT
taken PT down.
on Wednesday just passed. You can no longer get PT on the
Have you
marketplace.
seen people have been selling PS4s with PT installed for
Yeah.
like thousands? I don't know if anyone's actually bought one.
I know the Office has one.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of maybe grab because it's not the game I'm going to want to sit at lunchtime and play.
Well, it's only like an hour long.
Yeah, I know, but I'll want headphones, dark room,
Yeah.
focused.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah,
I really want to sit through it, but my flatmate and I, when it first came out, tried to play it. We got 50 minutes in. Right, lights on. Next game. No.
I watched someone play it on YouTube and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Even a little bit.
fantastic.
I can't think of a game that last did that. Maybe the first Dead Space.
Slender Man. It's just Slender, in fact.
Well,
Just
Slender was all about building tension, wasn't
It's
it?
just the
Yeah.
noise in that freaks me out because
No,
I
it's when
can't
he
do white
appears
noise.
beside you and you go, nah! You have to look away and run away from
I
him.
just
Oh.
can't do white noise at all. Don't like it.
So yeah, Konami are just God knows what's going on with them.
That's
Yeah,
not
like,
cool, though.
They've
Not
been
cool,
wiping
Konami.
Kojima's name from everything as well, like just like, and not they haven't even like announced it. They haven't done like,
Yeah.
oh, Kojima is leaving us. They've just like erased his existence.
Well,
from
Konami, if you look back over the last few years, Konami don't seem to have a public relations team. They blacklist people who criticise their games. Jim Sterling is a really prominent
yeah.
reviewer, and he loves Konami. He's a massive Silent Hills fan, really loves Metal Gear, but because he was critical of them, they just blacklisted him. But he said he didn't mind because they never sent him review copies on time anyway, so he would just be buying them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a shame to see Konami kind of doing this because, as a massive Metal Gear fan, they've gotten rid of Kojima, who, as much as there's no such thing as a one-man project, he's the writer, director, producer.
Well, he says he's sticking around for Phantom Pain.
Just to see it out the door, basically.
He's been wanting out for years.
Yeah.
Like, he has been saying for so long that it's going to be his last Metal Gear, and now it seems like he's finally free, and that maybe it means he'll just retire, but maybe it means that he'll do
I don't think he'll retire.
Yeah, but that means we've got exciting things to come from.
Hopefully, yeah. I think it's just as a big Metal Gear fan, But saying that, if he was getting tired of doing it, then, yeah, fair enough, move on to something new. Like, the one thing I love about Kojima is that he loves to mess with people's heads. He likes to, things like, just from the first Metal Gear Solid, where you couldn't kill a boss unless you took your controller out of port A and put it into port B. And this boss could read your memory card and tell you what you'd been playing if you'd been playing other Konami games. Really cool stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's also bullshit.
I think that's
I love
it's
that.
Cool, but what is there in the game to indicate that that's what you need to do? Does it hint at it, or is it just the sort of thing that unless you look it up on the internet, then
eventually? So he has this Snake has this little radio system, and you can use it to phone people, and eventually they will give you the hint that you need.
Yeah.
Like the one that got me stuck was that to progress the game, you need to contact someone on this phone, and you're not given the code in the game unless you really badger someone incessantly, and then just it'll randomly come up.
Yeah.
But if you look at the back of the case, it's written on the back of the case in one of the screenshots.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that.
I like it, and I think it's cool, and it's a good use of the mechanics and everything, but it just also annoys me stuff like that, because I'm like, you're being a dickhead just for the sake of being a dickhead. Like, what does this bring to the game?
Yeah, that is what I love and hate about him.
Yeah.
He's insane.
Is there not another one where there was a really tough boss to defeat, but you could defeat him by setting the clock on your computer forward in time, and when you go back to the boss, he's died of old age?
Yeah, he's called The End. He's a sniper, so it's a sniper battle.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a sniper battle done as well as it is in this game, because you have to really slowly shuffle through the undergrowth, have the right camouflage. He has a parrot that will come out and look for you, and he'll settle next to you, and then the sniper knows kind of where to get you. But if you tranquilise his parrot, he gets really angry, and just stuff like that. It's really funny. But
with the clock thing though, again, that is a really cool idea and everything, but how do you know to do that?
Think it's possible to kill him.
You can't just kill him. I just killed him regularly.
Yeah, because whenever I put my clock forward on my computer, it feels like I'm being so cheaty.
Yeah, I've never done it.
And
well, if you've got Animal Crossing, things like Animal Crossing,
and the recent Pokemon games, they really punish you for it. I needed it to. In fact, no, I was just changing the day because the time because daylight savings changed, and it wouldn't let me do any of my daily activities for 2 days, and it's like fuck off.
Wow.
Yeah, it really punishes you, and I guess because with Pokemon, people will often change the time because certain things only happen at daytime or nighttime.
Right. Okay.
So that they punish the user for it, and it's like, come on, it was daylight savings.
Certain Pokemon only come out at night, and
so things like that, or they'll only evolve at night and things like that.
Oh,
so,
right. Okay.
Yeah, it just feels cheaty whenever I do it because I've been punished in so many games before for doing it. So I've learnt my lesson clearly.
Yeah. I remember Animal Crossing had stuff like that. That was pretty cool. Because you could stick your date to 25th of December, and then your Animal Crossing town would have lots of Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Things like that, which
and
is really cool.
Recently with Costume Quest.
All right, okay.
There's an achievement on Steam to play it on Christmas Day, and I was like, I'm not getting out my laptop and playing Costume Quest on Christmas Day, so I just set my date on my computer to be different. I don't know if I ever changed it back. Oh well.
The only thing I've done it for is Inquisition. The war table missions that take real time.
Oh right, yeah.
So I finished the story, and I'm like, I'm not going to keep turning my.
So that goes by your.
Does
that go by your computer clock?
Yeah.
All right.
So
okay.
I just kept picking a mission and then putting it forward, and I was like, finally, I finished the fucking game.
Did
this
you
would have
100% it?
Yeah.
Oh.
This would have been 2 weeks after I'd finished the story. I'm not
Yeah.
coming back just to do that.
No. That's even too much for me. I didn't have the patience for the busy work. You're meant to be leading a country. You're meant to be leading nations to war, and you're like, find my ring! I lost it down a well.
Yeah, but belief is everything.
Were you going to say something, Matt?
Another Minecraft interlude.
Oh, God.
When you play Minecraft at Christmas, the chests turn into presents.
Yeah, of course they do.
Double chests turn to red with green bows or whatever, and single chests are green with red bows. It's really important, okay?
But is that something that you can change your computer clock, or is it
I have
like
no idea.
on
I've never
their
tried
side?
because it's a couple of days either side, so there'll be Christmas.
I
Eve
wonder
or
if
something
I
I'll be
changed
playing
my
anyway.
time when I put
On
the
the
server
server.
up.
That could work. We could
I would
have,
have a Christmas server.
I don't know if maybe they have to deploy a build that's like a Christmas build.
Probably.
We could also just put a Christmas texture pack on.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, it's like me.
It's not the same, Sophia.
I'm just
But it's
saying.
true. It's like watching Home Alone now. It's just no. It's
It
not
is
okay.
Okay.
It's not okay. Okay.
Or like when American TV shows, like because they show in America first, and then it gets to like April here, and it's like, oh, Thanksgiving, great, okay, this is relevant. Well, I mean, not that Thanksgiving is relevant to us anyways, but like, why
It
can't they
should
just
be
show us?
It should be.
Yeah,
They
why
should call
can't
it
we
something
have-
different over here. Just
Yeah.
have it then. Have it then, Day. Yeah, sure.
Well, we've got
Yeah,
Black
when it's out
Friday.
time.
We may as well have the meal that goes along with all the crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
I'm upset that is becoming more and more prominent over here.
People having fist fights in Tesco and Dundee.
Yeah.
over
Well, I mean that's
TVs.
nothing new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sadly.
it's Dundee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dundonians who are listening to this podcast.
Cool.
Wait, no, it's not our fault. They bloody did have fist
They
fights
did.
over
There
TVs.
is actual video proof of them having
And
fist
I've
fights
lived
over
there,
TVs.
so I'm allowed to slag it off.
Okay.
Spent a year and a half in Dundee.
Yeah. Yeah, you both did.
But I'm not giving my opinion and thus maintaining the
Well,
high
I-
ground.
Yeah, I'm better than you.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm going for. Okay, so since no one's been playing any games or any new
Well,
games,
I played the Mario Kart 8 DLC.
Oh!
Did you? How is it?
It's
you've
fun.
been
You
keeping
said
quiet
you
on that
hadn't
one.
played the game.
I don't know, I only played it for like an hour.
That is the game.
But it's really fun, and I love the new tracks, and the new car is really fun. It looks like a little rocket, and yeah.
Is it the F-Zero?
Yeah, there's the F-Zero one, and they also did like a little Animal Crossing one, which is okay. It's not as good as the Hyrule
It's got the
Circuit.
villager and stuff, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I
all
actually
over
quite
it?
liked playing as the villager. Like, it looks really out of place, but it was
Just
fun.
the art style.
Yeah.
I guess it is quite distinctive because it's not meant to be within the kind of pantheon of Mario characters.
Well,
But then neither was Link.
that's what I was going to
Yeah,
say.
Link looked a bit out of place as well, but because, like, he's, I don't
Taller.
know. I'm used to seeing him in, like, Smash Brothers and stuff, whereas I never play, like, the Animal Crossing stuff in Smash Brothers, so I was a
Right.
bit more used to
Is
it.
he not in Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, the villager is as
Villager
well.
and Link are both in
Yeah.
Smash, but I just never play Villager
Ah, okay.
or anything.
But I think with Smash Brothers, it's not quite so jarring because they mash, like, you've got trophies from games from the NES era
Yeah,
all the way
yeah.
up until modern stuff, and yeah, it's maybe not quite so jarring.
But yeah,
like-
it's fun DLC. Really
Yeah.
fun.
So how does having a 200cc cart affect how you play? Because I've heard that it just you
Well-
actually have to brake.
I'm terrible at
Really?
100cc.
Right.
150cc is awful, and then like yeah, 200cc is not going well. But I want to like get better at it, so I'm going to keep playing. But
Cara refuses to play Mario Kart with me because I'm not great at racers, but I'm good at Mario Kart. I just
Yeah,
love
I'm
playing
the
Mario
same.
Kart.
like, I'm not amazing at Mario Kart, but like when I win, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how Nintendo are getting more into DLC and stuff. Because it's not like they're ripping anyone off. It's like I would happily pay for more tracks every
Exactly.
month in Mario Kart.
Yeah. It's not like the content is good,
Yeah.
and like the original one launched with 16 tracks, or was it 32 maybe?
I think it was 32.
32.
Is that
Easily,
eight
yes.
cups?
Because it was 8 cups, 4 tracks each.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 classics, 4 new, and you just want more. As soon as you've completed them,
Mhm.
you just want to go through them all again.
That's the thing. Like I really like the really early tracks and the really late tracks, because the early ones you can get up to speed and you can actually have fun just racing, whereas the later ones you can really challenge yourself. Like, if I just hit that perfectly,
Yeah.
I'll get the shortcut.
I love finding the shortcuts, and also like the new well, it's kind of old DLC at this point. The Hyrule Circuit one, I just think is so fun because like you're picking up rupees and it does like the little sounds. So
Yeah.
it sounds like Zelda.
If you get 3 rupees in a row, though, it unlocks
Yeah,
an
unlocks
extra
the
jump.
jump. Yeah, it's so
Mm.
good, and like they should just do more mashups like that because people would buy it, and it's just really fun. Like if they did like a Metroid one or something, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Nintendo.
Would be.
I mean,
Mhm.
Smash Brothers has always been it's kind of the peak of them taking franchises that have sometimes never worked together and pushing them together, and because they had like great designers, they were able to balance it so that Link can fight Mario,
Yeah.
and it's an even fight.
Mhm.
So if they did that with more franchises, that could be incredible.
Like, I don't want overkill, but like I just think that Nintendo fans would want it.
Imagine like a Kingdom Hearts style Nintendo RPG, where like Mario can visit Hyrule and things like that.
Interesting.
I think that would be really cool. I'm not even a big Kingdom Hearts fan.
No, I never really got into it either. I know my friend played it a bit, but like I love any sort of theories about like things being in the same universe, and there's lots of stuff about like the Nintendo universe and how they all live on the same planet and stuff. But yeah, a Nintendo RPG would be fun.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Paper Mario games are good, but one that really brought it all together, I think, would be really cool.
I don't know how that would work when you're saying visiting different lands. That's to me, they're just different games. Am I missing something?
Well, if you kept them,
It's kind of a conspiracy.
segue much.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'll take that as a sign that we'll
Boom.
we'll
Subtle.
mix up our order this week, and we'll go straight to. Well, I guess it's not really science, but it kind of skirts science.
Pseudoscience.
Yeah. So we'd been talking briefly last week about conspiracy theories, the whole thing about the scam around the Mars One project, and just stuff like that. And it got me thinking about conspiracy theories. Now, I don't really watch the History Channel because
It's not history.
yeah, it's like Storage Wars. How is this history?
And also, like, I'm maybe thinking of Discovery Channel. A lot of those networks have like shit stuff. It's like, oh, look at this, it's a mermaid, and it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just shut up.
Mm-hmm. Based on a drawing done by like a pirate.
Oh, we found this fossilized fish, but like we can't find the head of it, so it must have been a mermaid.
What about the woman who's the expert on elf sex?
Oh yeah, her.
What?
Oh, sorry, I kicked the table.
I
But-
sent that out like ages ago.
I will put it.
Like
in
she
the blog.
did drawings and stuff.
She's like, I
Oh yes, she's from like Scandinavia, or
Yeah.
and
Iceland.
she yeah
You were just told.
she looks. Oh right, sorry.
And
She
they're
She
loo-
all
had like
like,
weird drawings of
yeah,
like the positions.
because they're all
and
huge on
stuff.
elves there. Like it's just a given that they
But she
exist.
does look fey. You know,
Yeah.
she looks like a pixie.
Yeah.
And she's got a big book on how to do the dance with no pants with elves.
I believe that's what it translates to out of Icelandic.
Alice is shimmying right now.
So yeah, I did a little bit of research into conspiracy theories, trying to find ones that I think everyone would have something interesting to say, or like something like, I don't know, just something that felt right for the show. And funnily enough, Alice has already brought it up when we were discussing examples, and that was David Icke's lizard overlord theory.
It's not Ike.
I don't know, it's ICKE.
I've never heard of it.
It might be David Icke. Maybe.
My friend had a party, and it was centred around all of this. And he had a giant pyramid with the all-seeing eye and stuff on the wall. It was ridiculous.
Kind of tying into the whole Illuminati theory.
Yeah.
What is
Lizard
it?
people.
So,
a chap
basically-
wrote a book.
So he's a guy who was a former professional football player,
Okay.
then a commentator,
Okay.
then a political commentator and author. But his theory is that anyone in a position of authority is actually a space lizard wearing a human mask.
Space lizard.
He is published.
All the monarchy are as well. Yeah, but power,
Yeah.
I guess.
To be honest, if it's the monarchy, they're definitely space horses. There's they all have the horsey face.
The reason I haven't been talking is because my jaw dropped.
There's
I
some
can't believe
really
this is a real
horrifying
thing.
He has been
pictures
published, yeah.
Like,
and videos
What?
even.
like, is
Yeah, these
how,
people
what is his
exist.
proof on this?
I don't think he really has
Well,
very
people
much.
have edited videos and stuff of political leaders giving speeches, and they kind of like twitch, and then their face goes a little bit horrifying, and then they come back and they're normal.
I mean-
I wish this was true.
Maybe that makes Ed Miliband, like, you can trust him because his face always looks like plasticine.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, see, he wouldn't be trying, he would be trying harder
That's true.
if he was
That's
actually
true.
a lizard. But yeah, absolutely nuts.
That, and what a career that guy's had. Start off as a footballer, end up as a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, you can go either the Vinnie Jones route, or you can go the David. Well, we just go with Ike. We'll settle on Ike, the David Icke route. So yeah, I thought that was really funny. The whole Illuminati thing, I can easily imagine that being possible to some extent.
The Illuminati has become such like an internet joke that I can't even remember what it actually is. It's just like every now and then, if you want to be a troll, you draw a triangle on a picture and be like fucking Illuminati.
Yeah, you just picture the all-seeing eye
Yeah.
with a big joint and the pixelated sunglasses.
Yeah, fucking Illuminati.
Yeah.
And there was something in like Dan Brown books, like, and the words that were the same backwards and forwards.
I mean, that whole thing is just a massive. That is a conspiracy theory that someone managed to spin into a multi-million-dollar book deal and film deal.
Interesting book, but crazy.
yeah, and everyone loves Tom Hanks, so. So
Tom Hanks is a conspiracy theory. There is no Tom Hanks.
There is no Tom Hanks.
He never got off the island.
He is actually a volleyball, just really well painted.
So wait,
maybe the volleyball killed him and then
took his skin.
Yeah, unscrewed his head and then just kind of like, this is good for me.
So what's the actual theory of Illuminati?
It's basically that there is a secret society, if you like, a bit like the Masons, but
my friend is a Freemason.
they're in a. You're not meant to tell anyone. He's not. They're not
He
meant.
writes it on Facebook. They have parties.
That's how you end
That's
up
how you
face down in a pool.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Or how your vampire friend Peter gets burnt to death.
Peter, no.
What we do in the shadows.
I still haven't watched that.
You need to watch that.
I need to
We've
watch
suffered a horrific sunlight accident. Get that camera
Out
out
of
of
the
my
way!
face.
Out of the way! Throws a cup of water on him. I was too late.
What the movie we're referencing is called What We Do in the Shadows.
So funny.
It's a mockumentary about 4 vampires living in Wellington in New Zealand. It's got half of the Flight of the Conchords. Jermaine is in it.
It's also got Murray.
Yeah. Well,
werewolf.
we don't want to give too
Not
much
a
away.
swearwolf.
We don't want to give too much away, but the film is absolutely
Guys,
fantastic.
I want to know about the Illuminati.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are you guys in the Illuminati?
I
Is that why
think-
you
yeah,
keep
we're trying to
taking me off the topic?
Yeah, I shouldn't have brought it up.
You know that guy from Twilight?
She knows too much.
That's me.
What?
You are the guy from Twilight,
Which guy?
Edward.
There's lots of guys.
That's from the...
Okay.
You're letting me down.
I'm sorry. What was I supposed to say?
She's referencing What We Do in the Shadows.
The guy from Twilight.
It's what he tells everyone. You know that guy from
Yeah.
Twilight? That's
So,
me.
Yeah.
And
that's
then-
true.
Yeah.
I am starting to wonder if you two are Illuminati now.
Yeah, stop
actually,
distracting us.
it's basically a secret society that rules everything. So, even though there's like monarchies and CEOs of companies, these guys are actually pulling the strings.
I think I did know this, but I just forgot how ridiculous it was.
Exactly.
I think
ridiculous.
Yeah.
No thought.
It's crazy, right? I don't know
judging
Beyonce.
from
I said I don't know Beyonce.
Okay.
Leave it alone. What's with the 3rd degree?
What's happening?
The 3 degrees. Good band.
So I'm going to try and wrangle this back to the Illuminati and then close this out. It's basically a secret society, very rich, very influential people, and they basically run the world.
Don't worry about
Not
it.
that rich.
Just don't think about it. Give it no thought.
Just a little bit rich.
But considering the amount of corruption that you see at like governments and companies and things like that, I can imagine there is something resembling the Illuminati out there somewhere. Maybe not quite as nefarious, and because they're all going to be old white guys. You just know it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yep. None of them have red hair. That's for sure.
For God's sake.
No, I can genuinely understand where these kind of theories come from, because just when you do compare the divide between the rich and powerful and the rest of us, it's terrifying.
There's the old adage that absolute power corrupts absolutely, and these guys would have it, and there's corruption everywhere. So,
How did it start? Who decided, oh shit,
oh god, I think
Mr. Hines and Mr. Cadbury got together And they were like, the powerful ones.
Right.
That's it.
That's
Okay.
it.
And they made chocolate beans.
Disclaimer, that's not true. Well, it might be, but it probably isn't.
Probably not true. Matthew Burt.
There's an Illuminati hit squad just outside.
Oh,
They're waiting for you.
Is that a red dot on my chest?
No, but I mean, is there not a thing about if you follow back through like child companies or parent companies, you go back and if there's only a few, like 7 major companies making most of the products that you can buy these days. It's just so there's going to be heads of these companies or the boards of these companies that are the super rich, the ones you don't hear about because
they're all having fun.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not the people that are like, oh my god, he's now worth $4 billion. No, it's the people that are so rich that they're invisible. It's scary.
Cool. Well, we're coming up on an hour shortly, so I'll keep this as the last one. One that I think we haven't really done much talking about astronomy or really about space. Although we haven't, I guess it's really been the one central subject. But I think when we all started, we wanted to speak more about this kind of stuff because I know Matt and Sophia have a real interest in space.
I do, but also like I'm still kind of getting over the fact that I don't have to do that anymore because I'm not at uni anymore. So it's almost like a treat to not have to do that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love astronomy, I love physics, but I can talk about games all I want and I don't feel guilty about it, you know? Like, I'm not at uni anymore. So every now,
you know, when
You
you're
think you should
programming,
be charging
you come
us?
to me, you know.
no, you just walk past my desk and go, what you doing?
Yeah. Shut up. It's called taking an interest in your friends, Sophia.
That's for being nosy.
So where are we going with this? You mean the
So I was going to bring
moon?
up the moon landing. Yes.
Oh, fucking no.
One-
Right, that...
No, Sophia. No,
I'd
Sophia
rather talk
empirically
about
says no. We did not land
London.
on the
No,
moon.
we did land on the moon.
My favourite thing about that is if any of the superpowers wanted to disprove that, they just get a telescope and go, yeah, check it out. You see where you said you landed, you didn't.
Yeah, but conspiracy theorists would tell you that they've painted, it comes as standard, for every telescope, there is a little lens that just looks a little bit like the landing site.
Only visible when you point it at the moon?
Yep.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, it's got a little gyroscope in it.
My second favourite thing about that conspiracy theory is Buzz Aldrin punching the reporter
Yes.
or the guy asking about it.
It's this guy that
fucking dare
he has a
I
stalker.
don't swear on this podcast, but how dare he?
Yeah, I mean, this is Buzz Aldrin has one of the most amazing life stories, and he's got this kind of crowning achievement, not only for him but generally for humanity. It's really the furthest we've gone.
Yeah.
And there is a man who devotes himself to following him around, questioning him.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
I was listening to the radio one day and it was BBC 2 and it had like just a various amount of guests on there and there was like Genesis and Professor Brian Cox.
Oh, yeah.
And Phil Collins like turned to Professor... It wasn't even the section where they ask each other questions. Phil Collins just turned to Professor Brian Cox and he's like, so like, did we actually land on the moon? And Brian Cox is like, obviously we did. And he's like, but I don't believe you. And it was just like so painful to listen to that Phil Collins is just there like trying to be an arsehole just for the sake of it.
I don't think Phil Collins has to try to be an arsehole.
So if you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be that, like, because it was such a massive moment specifically for America when they landed on the moon. They did it. I mean, they say we didn't do it because it was easy, but we did it because it was hard.
Yeah.
But
Go on, Kennedy.
the real reason, well, the JFK assassination is another conspiracy theory, but
No, I'm meaning his speech, the one you just referenced.
But yeah, like, it was obviously a massive win for the Americans over the Soviet Union. They were both racing to get into space, and it's still like over 50 years later.
Well, no, they're friends. They use each
Sorry,
other's...
not over 50 years, but
They use each other's capsules and everything.
Mm.
I think they're over it.
They
Yeah.
do, but America are desperately trying to develop new rockets and technologies.
Well,
so they
maybe
don't
they
have to
shouldn't
rely
have
on the
closed down
Russians.
the space program.
yeah.
Well, that's because idiot Americans.
Yeah.
don't think there's anything worthwhile out there.
It's
Well,
like
no, not just that. Imagine the NASA budget was anything between 10 and 30% of the allocated government resources when it's 0.4%.
Yeah, like Neil deGrasse Tyson did a speech about how if every American just paid a cent more, they could fund the space program again.
Yeah.
But
I think I was watching one of these things on iPlayer. I think it was Horizon, and about a catch up of old Horizons and things about space, and during the height of the space race, I believe it was, the same amount of money was being spent as Americans bought some form of makeup or something like that. It was a really weird comparison, but it was the equivalent. Was products like that.
All right, okay.
I could be quite wrong, but I don't think I am.
Mm.
It's just such a misconception of how much money it costs to do anything.
It just seems remarkably short-sighted.
Yes.
And I don't know. I mean, the Chinese are making big leaps forward with it as well.
Well, North Korea landed on the sun. Can't.
Yeah.
Nobody can compete with them. Let's not try.
See, the issue is that Americans are happy where they are. It's just everyone else wants to get away from America.
Oh, that's a shame. Not all of you, just most of you.
Just the ones that don't think there's any value in
Just
the
the
space
ones
program.
that keep talking.
Do we have Americans who listen to this?
I don't know. I have American family. Maybe they
I have
listen.
American friends, so yeah, I know that some of them are quite nice. Yeah. And I do have family actually over
Quite
there. I've just
nice.
never met them.
Because they're American. Is that why?
No,
You're no relative of mine.
I believe in your Salt Lake City. But, or something like that.
Okay.
He just gets really annoyed with how they spell aluminium.
No, how they say it.
No.
Surely they spell it the same.
No, it's we had
It's
this
two
discussion at
different
work.
words.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
actually did, and I won't name names, but they were just like arguing about it. I'm like, right, it's two different words.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, because some people wanted to conform to one thing, and other people thought they didn't need to, and so they just settled, like, agreed to disagree. It's two different words.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because I thought, how can you possibly say it's wrong when it's spelled
You know, if
aluminium?
every American donated a U, they could spell colour and flavour properly.
Oh my god.
Anyway, moving on from petty grievances like that. So we'll take it on to the movie section. Alice has seen Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
I'm extremely jealous,
yeah.
but I don't want you to tell me too much because I really, really want to see it.
I've actually seen a lot of people slating it.
I
Right?
have as well.
Is this just because the event, like Avengers Assemble, set such a high bar?
It's because everyone now knows what's coming next.
Right. Okay.
So when you get to the end of the film, a lot of people are going, well, that was just a whole lead up to the next film.
Yeah.
Which everyone actually wants
Well,
to see.
that is kind
because-
of what happens with trilogies, though, isn't it? Like the first film, like I feel like I'm kind of quoting the Rooster Teeth podcast here, but for people who don't watch Rooster Teeth podcast, Bernie Burns explained it, and he's like, the first film is always a complete story. Like you could watch it on its own, it's fine, and then they decide to turn that into a trilogy. And so the second film is always, you couldn't watch it without watching the first one. It's never like a complete story, and then the third one wraps it all up.
Yeah.
So the second one always kind of leaves you wanting to watch whatever's coming next, but the first one you could just watch on its own.
Yeah, but I think because a lot of people kind of knew what Thanos was about in the first one,
Yeah.
I think they were kind of expecting the second one to be more about him.
I suppose
But it's not.
they've done a lot of kind of stretching. Like Marvel's doing what I don't think I've seen any other studio ever do. At least not for cinema. Comic books have a long history of having like a main story, and obviously it's all based on comic books. But they have your main story arc that affects pretty much the entire Marvel universe, and you get the movies are just the really big set pieces that you see every year or so.
A lot of people think it's the other way around. A lot of people don't realise that comic books have a story arc in them at all.
Right, okay. That they're just like
They're just little stories. Maybe that they're a series, but like just like general layman's don't get
I
it.
suppose we can always hope that as the movies get bigger and bigger, I mean they're already massive. That comic book sales are going up, and they Marvel rebooted their Marvel and DC both rebooted their universe quite recently.
Quite a good time to do so. It's now that superhero movies are like probably at their biggest they've ever been.
Yeah,
But I think that does set them up for a bit of a fall.
absolutely.
Nothing makes you want to criticise
It's
a
gonna
Marvel
get too
movie
saturated.
than its popularity.
Mhm.
I know people that got back from Guardians of the Galaxy, just being like, meh. But
Well, they're just idiots.
well,
They're
I mean,
wrong.
you're obviously entitled to your own opinion, but you're wrong. No, I just, of course, there's no. Again, I think I've said this probably every episode. I'm not someone who goes to the cinema looking to criticise something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a bad mentality, and
Yeah.
you're essentially wasting your money.
Because it's rare that I'll go to the cinema unless it's something that I really definitely know I want to see and will like. But then there's things like Amazing Spider-Man 2 that I was very close to walking out of because it was total shit.
Really?
It was so bad.
I hated the Green Goblin in that. That's purely because I love the cartoon Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, Willem
Unbeatable.
Dafoe. They should have just gotten him back. He's such a. You don't need makeup. Just Willem Dafoe.
That's true.
He's already terrifying and awesome.
But about the trilogy thing, so how do you justify not watching Back to the Future Part 3?
Because I think that kind of, well, for me, Back to the Future kind of breaks that. But then there's things like Hunger Games, where the end of the second one leaves you wanting to watch or read the third one. Yeah. But like, obviously, it is kind of a story on its own. But like, unless you've seen or read the first one, you'd have no idea what's going on in that second one. Like, because it's the aftermath of the first Hunger Games, obviously, and then at the end of the second one, it's like, oh right, they're about to rebel, and so you're left wanting to see the third one or read the third one.
Oh yes, look at Star Wars.
Well, Star Wars is the best example of it because you're allowing the bad guys to win.
They have the perfect story arc, you know, like your introduction, and then it all goes to shit in Empire, and then you have your massive victory.
Well, can you watch Empire on its own and appreciate it as its own?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
But
then
it's a
fine.
gorgeous, amazing film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Age of Ultron is basically just the Avengers trying to get their shit together to kind of deal with what's going to happen in the third one,
Okay.
and it goes wrong, and then
Of
they have to
course.
fix
They're
their
in
own
peril.
mistakes, and then at the end you find out what Thanos is up to.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
But I liked it because I thought like just the cinematography was really good. The opening scene, someone said it was cheesy, but I thought it
It's
was
based
just
on a
like,
comic book.
Oh God. And it just feels like the choreography is more dynamic, and Hawkeye has a personality. I know.
Have you seen the video where he plays the piano?
Yeah, that's horrendous.
That's Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
I
But,
I've
like,
seen this.
I like
Usually
Jeremy
I don't
Renner.
like Captain America very much, but I thought like his moves were actually quite cool. Instead of
I
him
like-
just standing about with a shield and hitting things.
I think
he, like,
he's
throws
taken.
it
I think
and-
he's taken a lot from
does
UFC. Like I honestly think that kind of mixed martial arts as it's become more
Yeah.
popular. He seems more badass.
Yeah, and like Black Widow kind of makes more sense because she's got like she's kind of Batmanified.
Oh, cool.
She's got stuff in her suit and shit like that. So everyone just kind of makes more sense to be there, whereas they didn't really before.
I suppose. But then that was the whole point of the first one, which was like, these are our last hopes. We're just going to
Yeah, I
stick them
guess so.
together and hope that
Yeah.
they work. And then this one, well, I already like. So I don't know. I don't really like that they have announced their plans for the next 5 years
Yeah.
because like Civil War is coming because they've announced that it's going to be Captain America Civil War, and the Civil War storyline is probably my favourite Marvel storyline. It's brilliant. It's like a split right down the middle, and some of the good guys go one way and some go the other.
With Age of Ultron, I was just excited that for once Europe got a release date sooner than America. So
Yeah.
I was kind of in a rush.
Especially
to watch
for a
it.
Disney film.
Yeah, I was in a rush to watch it before it came out in America, and today it came out in America. So now I'm just like, I'll watch it at my own
At
time.
your leisure, yeah.
Yeah, whenever I feel like it. Not in. I don't know. I like the first one a lot, but again, I didn't feel like I needed anything else after it. Like, I will watch Age of Ultron, but I'm not too fussed about it.
I think the nice thing about Marvel is that if you really enjoyed their last film, you know you're only about 6 months away from the next one.
That's true.
And they all kind of tie together in a really nice way.
Mhm.
It's because you've got Joss Whedon in charge,
Yeah.
who's kind of steering everything to like funneling it towards this. It'll be interesting to see what the Avengers 3 does like right after it. Like, I don't think they'll take a break because they'll want to keep making money.
Yeah.
But things like the Daredevil TV show, and
That's doing really well.
there's a Luke Cage one on the way. They're talking about a Punisher one, which could be really cool.
Mhm.
That would have to be an 18.
Well, the Punisher was hinted at in Captain America.
Was it?
Yeah, there's teaser spots. Not teaser spots exactly, but there's a truck that crashes into somebody and takes them out of the way during a car chase.
I remember that. Yeah.
And that truck has branding on it from the Punisher universe.
All right. Okay.
You can look that up. In fact, I'll make sure
I do like the little Easter eggs that they give you.
But yeah, there's supposed hints towards the Punisher. I'm sure it's Captain America too. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's one at the end. I think it's of. Is it? I think it's maybe the end of the second Hulk, the good or the better Hulk film.
The Incredible Hulk. Norton.
Where you see Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Falling.
I haven't seen that, but yeah, I know that. Oh no, I have seen that. Yes.
Yeah.
They find there's a. Is it not the Shield guy?
Yeah, but that's when they actually find it. But that's all Phase 1 stuff. But
the Hulk films are just bad. I kind of blocked them out of my memory.
The Hulk ones, yeah, they weren't great.
I liked the Ed Norton one.
I liked it
more than the first one. Yeah.
If anything, I liked the small snippet of like Hulk that you get in the Avengers. Because I think Mark Ruffalo does a really good job of it, and I'd rather just watch like various clips of him and the Avengers put together as a movie than either of those two Incredible Hulk movies.
Why they work is because
they're an ensemble.
They're great Hulk movies because they're not Hulk movies.
Yeah,
he's just a great addition.
Well, that's the thing. Hulk isn't a particularly interesting character.
Yeah,
like Captain America's. Captain
not?
America, his films have had their own. Like the second Captain America had an amazing 70s-esque spy story. Like that was really cool, and that only worked because Captain America has to deal with things like post-traumatic stress disorder and guilt about leaving his friend to die and things like that. So I don't know, when the Hulk is in an action scene, he just wants to break stuff, and I don't know. I think that's probably why we haven't seen a Hulk movie.
But it's also why he's good in Avengers, because you see more sides of him than him smashing up stuff.
Yeah.
I'm always angry.
Yeah.
The best thing that I'm looking forward to out of this Marvel cinematic universe so far is just getting through each phase, and then or wait until in fact the part 2 of film 3, because it's split into two, the Infinity Wars Avengers. Is when you can just sit down and watch them. Obviously not back to back. I've never done that. I've not even done
29 hours to watch all the films up to Age of Ultron.
Well, there you go. Obviously I couldn't do that, and as I said, I've never done that with Lord of the Rings yet, but having the complete story and knowing everything, I think people will be a lot more happier to go back and watch individual movies, because they'll just see little snippets of parts that are obviously going to be important with Thanos.
A bit like things in the Disney universe. How there's in the Disney universe, there's lots of hints to other films within films.
Using it.
But yeah, I guess Marvel is Disney now, so.
I didn't know that about Disney.
Yeah, I'll find the link and send it to you. But there's lots of hints about other things going on in each film. It could just be Easter eggs. It could be a universe linking together. There's lots of theories about it.
We'll make sure and stick that in the blog.
Oh,
yeah.
Like
the Pixar thing.
Yes, yeah,
and then in other Disney
There's
films.
a certain number that's prevalent in Pixar, isn't there?
It's a room number with the animators.
113A, I believe. It's the room that they stayed in their college dorm.
Okay.
And then in the Disney universe, there's things like the parents in Frozen, their ship, when it crashes, they don't die, they become Tarzan's parents. Yeah, things like that. Yeah, it's cool.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory episode all of itself.
I think it was one, I can't remember his exact role, but one of the guys at Disney was doing an AMA on Reddit and like kind of hinted at these sort of things, and so people just took it all together and yeah.
John Lasseter is an interesting guy. I can imagine he's got a lot of stuff like that.
There's something else though. So Elsa and all that are related to Tarzan. He's their brother, but there's also I forget the other connection. So
there's Rapunzel's in there as well.
Statement from me there.
Because the boat that Elsa's parents were on, they were on their way to Rapunzel's wedding, and then you see Rapunzel and what's his face at Elsa's coronation and stuff like that. Yeah.
Just hidden in the corner.
You sort of see like the back of them as the camera moves past.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I really like it when filmmakers do stuff like that. And it happens with games as well. And you just think like there's so much thought and love that has gone into this, and it just makes you really happy. There's a lot of it with Nintendo as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. Well, I will close this out for episode 7. Thank you very, very much for listening to us. if you would like to get in touch, if you want to ask any questions, it would be really cool if we could do like an email bag at some point. That'd be really cool. You can get in touch with us at SplittingPixPod on Twitter. We're at facebook.com/SplittingPixelsPodcast, and you can email us at emailsplittingpixels@gmail.com. There will also be a blog going up for this episode as well, so please do check that out, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.